हाय गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू यूट्यूब चैनल फिनसाइट। और आज हम शुरू करेंगे हमारे सेशन प्राइवेट इक्विटी के, जिसमें हम डिस्कस करेंगे टाइप ऑफ एक्टिविटीज इन द फंडामेंटल सेक्शन। दैट इज फंडामेंटल मॉड्यूल के अंदर जो टाइप ऑफ एक्टिविटीज हमारी होती है प्राइवेट इक्विटी में, आज हम वो डिस्कस करेंगे। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं और शुरू करते हैं आज का सेशन। ठीक है, सो एज यू कैन सी ऑन माई स्क्रीन, राइट। तो आप देख पा रहे हैं स्क्रीन पे क्या है। फंडामेंटल्स टाइप ऑफ एक्टिविटीज में देख रहे हैं। पी फर्म्स आर द deal machines. Their MO is to go into company optimization it for the 4 to 5 years and then live with the profit. So जो भी प्राइवेट इक्विटीज फंड्स होते हैं या प्राइवेट इक्विटीज में जो इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं, these people have goal to optimize the company processes and streamline them, and thereafter make an exit with the profit. So this is their core motto. Okay, that's it. And it's a very natural process and it's a very logical thing, right? Because this is why the private equity is being formed to make the money in the J-shaped curve, right? So the investment itself is not the activity. कोई भी इन्वेस्टमेंट करना इट्स नॉट द ओनली एक्टिविटी दैट so basically the whole pipeline of activities needed. They usually include three key phases as we have discussed already. The sourcing of the opportunities, ठीक है, दैट वेयर टू फाइंड द गुड कंपनीज। सबसे पहली चीज है आपको, यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट द कंपनीज वेयर यू वांट टू मेक ए इन्वेस्टमेंट, बिकॉज वंस यू हैव रेज द फंड्स इन योर प्राइवेट इक्विटी, then the second activity is just to find the companies where you want to plug your monies, or the companies in which you wanted to buy a stake, a majority of stake in the companies, so that you can make turn around them into profitable companies and make exit. So this is the one thing. Thereafter, the actual investment and intervention. What does this mean? Which means simply, once you have find out those companies where you want to make a stake or where you want to invest in those companies, after you make actual investments, and thereafter you have to continuously intervene, because the master plan that you have set up, right, the master plan that you have set up in initial stage 4 to 5 years in terms of your investment, you have to also see key time to time things doesn't go as you planned, so you need to make changes or adjustment during the process. This is called, this has to be done for the value creation purpose, and this is done for the financial engineering purpose. So the जो भी आप स्टेज पे कर रहे हो, एक तरीके से एक लेआउट रख रहे हैं, यू आर सेटिंग अप बिगर टेबल कि 4 to 5 years का हमारा क्या प्लान रहेगा। ठीक है, आफ्टर मॉनिटरिंग, मॉनिटरिंग इज सिंपली मेकिंग श्योर दैट कंपनी इज ऑन द ट्रैक। ठीक है, आपने इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिया, उसके बाद आप छोड़ते नहीं हो, यू हैव टू लुक अपॉन द इन्वेस्टमेंट कि क्या हो रहा है, आर यू एबल टू अप्रिशिएट द वैल्यू ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट। और मतलब ऐसा पता लग रहा है कि 5 साल का हमारा मास्टर प्लान है, उसमें 2 साल में नेगेटिव रिटर्न है, उसके बाद में वी आर नॉट इवन कमिंग एट द ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट, इवन ऑफ द फोर्थ ईयर। देन इन सच a case, we have to set up things in such a way that either we exit the funds, we make it profitable, we optimize the product line, or whatever we have to do certain things on something, so that we can get our returns as per the target date we have set up in the master plan, right? So ये तीन चीजें हम देखते हैं: sourcing of opportunities, investment interventions and monitoring। ठीक है, चलिए। So now you can see on the second slide, like it, that is, all right, I think stuck. Let me check it again. Right. I think that's the second slide. As you can see on my screen now, we are saying that it is important to understand the how PE fund works and their J curve. As we have already discussed, and I have at least give a little basic idea what is J curve, right? So PE investment don't exist in vacuum. They basically exist in terms of context of a fund, right? Every firm raises a funds, usually several of funds, each one with a specific amount of capital to produce return by the target date. So each funds raises the investments, raises the capital for the purpose of the fund management and fund activities, so that they have a returns by the target date, whatever the target date they have set up in their master plan, right? उसके आपने what kind of things we do, for example fundraising from $10 billion from the institutional investor with a hold a period of 5 years। ठीक है, आपको एक फंड रेज करना है विद द इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स। सो देयर आर बेसिकली टू टाइप ऑफ इन्वेस्टर यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड। One is that HNIs, that are high net worth individuals, and the family companies, the family offices, and thereafter the other one, the institutional investor. So institutional investors are those investors which is basically like uh, pension funds, endowments, and some some big companies, right? Some other big funds, and so which invest their money into the market, like insurance companies also does investment. So these are the institutional investors. So you are raising a fund of 10 billion from institutional investors for the period of 5 years. This means the firm must opportunize, means funds have to find the companies for those 10 billion investments, and they have to interventions, they have to make monitoring those funds and give them an exit so that these guys can make a profit, right? So this is the typical activity once you raise a funds. Okay, so what the third point is, this means the firm must find an opportunity to invest those 10 billion, will start the investment, making the first capital calls. Whenever they start to make invest, they have to do first capital calls. It means raising the capital from to the limited partners, or what I call allocators, and have to return results after those 5 years. And thereafter, they have to return those results in after 5 years. All the pipeline activities are on schedule. In this case, uh, we have decided the sourcing, investment interventions, monitoring. In monitoring phase, we have to see that whether the all the things that we have placed into the master plan of 4 to 5 years are on the schedule. Sometimes there's a possibility that things are not on schedule, they are not in sync. In such a case, the readjustments are supposed to be taken into account. ठीक है, ये चलते हैं हम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे. दिस इज फंडामेंटल टाइप्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज. सो we are talking about the J curve. So basically, J curve is similarly a curve which is also known as hockey stick, and that is also considered as a measure of success in startup fundings, startup companies. So what happened in Jacob? Jacob is basically nothing. We are saying like in first 1 to 2 years, we are expecting, since we are only making investment with the zero returns and there would be might be negative returns. So in such a case, we won't be having any kind of profits. Then thereafter, in the year 3 to 4, we might be getting the break even where our results are like we are no profit and no loss. Thereafter, in year 4 to 5, we our returns would be highly accelerated, we can say, or the return would be shoot up, right? It's like a high growth phase. So that is why it would make a curve like a J curve, right? At least in the first year, couple of years, we might be have declining profits, or maybe no profits or negative profits, and thereafter we will be going to the break even. Thereafter, it will slightly cross the uh, or symmetrical line. So this makes J-shaped field. This is like a hockey stick. The type of pattern can be summarized as the things somehow somewhat worse before they get dramatically better. This is what we also call it into the industry. Thereafter, the other session, other thing is like this is important to clarify why in PE firms these three activities, sourcing, investing, and monitoring, will be happening in parallel. You should understand that it's not like that a fund has raised a 1 billion capital, and thereafter they put all the energies, all the activities into the one process, that is finding the companies, investing in interventions. So all the activities happen in the parallel universe. You know what I mean by that? It means where maybe the possibility like your one round of funding, one round of investors, let's say five limited partner investors invested, you have find the opportunities for them, you have introduced their capital into the business, and the possibilities that they might be in 4 5 years, they might be in exit stage, but at the same time you might have also raised another round of fund, right, which is as a seed fund you might consider. And it at initial stage, the people might be focusing in your team for the opportunity and investment for that round of fundraise, but at the same time the first round of uh, limited partners might be exiting. So it's a these activities might taking place into the parallel universe. It's not like a one time activity, it would be happening. So as soon as the funds get bigger, the things get started bigger, round of investment happen bigger, and number of activities happen into the entire fund, that we will be seeing later on. So now you can say pre-professionals usually perform tasks at the three stages: sourcing and vetting opportunities, that we have already seen, meeting with the intermediaries like investment banking, right? As we have already discussed, banking are the folks that are the sellers, salesmen. So they will give you the opportunities they will propose opportunities for you for the investments. Meeting management and and doing the due diligences. Thereafter, being involved into the financial engineering and value creation blueprints. They are supposed to make a blueprint for the next 4 5 years and how the value would be created, how the products would be done in those companies where they are taking a charge and control and having a great stake for the current investment, and thereafter help to monitor and optimize the portfolio companies. Whatever the portfolio companies they are having as investment, thereafter they will monitor those investments and will look. Apart from this, there are other activities that are internal report is reporting, LP reporting, limited partners reporting, quarterly financials preparation, and all activities are supposed to be part of the activities. And that's all. I think this is all in this session. Where we have typically covered the fundamental activities, that is type of activities that is considered as a part of fundamental module, where we are saying like what are the typical activities involved in the private equity. Uh, so that is all for today, guys. And if you really like the content and you are liking the way I'm teaching, and if you need any improvement, please do comment and let me know what we can improve. But with the limited amount of resource and sources, this is what we are trying to achieve here. That the main purpose or focus is to deliver the knowledge so that you guys can crack the interviews wherever you are applying, and where you are seeing yourself in the private equity domain. And so that is all from my side. Thank you. Please do like, share, and subscribe the Finsight. Thank you.